Hey, good morning, math kids. It's Monday. This is your Monday video for May 4th this week for math. We are starting in the second book, so you hopefully have that with you. It's page 363 is where I'm going to kind of jump ahead to. We're also starting a new sort of topic or a new theme, I suppose you can say, as we're going to be getting to fractions now. Now, we spent a lot of time with decimals, doing all the different operations with decimals. Right now, we've only got a month of school left, and obviously, it's not the best or most ideal or preferred way to be able to teach you guys this stuff. But we're going to do our best we can to keep that going, get you ready a little bit for what's coming up in the future. Um, we are going to look at fractions here, talking about estimating sums and differences, okay? I'm also going to use today as a way to sort of get us thinking about fractions again, do a few visual models and types of things. But just like when we've started off some of the work with decimals, sometimes in solving problems with decimals, sometimes the best way to, or one of the good ways to begin work on these is to just doing some estimating, okay? So today we're going to work on some basic estimation strategies we can use that are going to help us find some answers, or at least know how we can get close to finding some answers as we get into this chapter on adding fractions, adding and subtracting fractions. Now, when you were in fourth grade, I know you worked with equivalent fractions, creating equivalent fractions. That'll be another lesson we do later this week. And also adding and subtracting fractions with common denominators, meaning that bottom number is our denominator, right? And the numerator is on top. We need to have common denominators in order to add fractions to find actual answers. What we're going to do today is look at a few examples where we don't have the same denominator. And that adds a little bit of a challenge to us to help us find the answer. But we can also use estimation in some mental math. Remember, with estimation, it's always about kind of getting close and using mental math to find an answer there, okay? So let's go ahead and look through a few things with this. I'm on page 363. Again, in the second math book, you'll notice it's green now. So, hey, super exciting. We're a different color and everything else. We're doing a different topic. Just like what we've done with decimals, decimals represent parts of a whole, and the fractions are actually the same thing. Fractions are really just a different way of representing parts that are not whole, not or less than one. Just like we've worked on tenths and hundredths for decimals, we'll work with fractions that might have, again, a numerator smaller than the denominator. That just means a part that's not a whole part, okay? So that's kind of, again, similar to what we've been doing, just a kind of a different way of looking at it, okay? So let's go through a couple intro pages. We are actually going to go through two lessons this week. I'm going to kind of steamroll through them and go through them quick, which, again, not the ideal way of doing it, but we got to pick up the pace and get to a good finishing point before the end of the year. So I think these early on ones shouldn't be too bad as far as just getting the basics down and then doing a quick little homework for it. So we're going to actually fit in two lessons this week, but this is our first one, okay? This is, again, all about estimating sums and differences, okay? So let's talk about this first problem. It says Kimberly will be riding her bike to school this year. The distance from her house to the end of the street is 1/6 of a mile, and the distance from the end of the street to the school is 3/8 of a mile. So our question is about how far, notice that word about how far is Kimberly's house from the school. Okay, so it says we can use benchmarks to find reasonable estimates by rounding fractions to 0, 1/2, or 1. Okay, this is the big skill we're going to work on today. When we estimate, we're not going to round to the nearest whole number necessarily. Basically, we're going to either say our fraction is pretty close to 0, or it's pretty close to 1 whole, or it might be right in the middle. We're going to call that a half, and then we can think half. Adding halves is kind of an easy thing to do, and that's what we're going to work on, okay? So I'm also going to use a visual model here to help us think back about fractions. Basically, what we want to do here to find the total distance is if we have 1/6 and 3/8, we're going to add those together, okay? So we're going to estimate an answer to 1/6 plus 3/8. So let's talk about the strategy. We can do that here. They're going to give us the strategy of using a number line to help us do that, okay? So here we see a number line. Basically, we can think of equivalent fractions and help us kind of find where those parts are, okay? So here they have step one. We're going to go real slow through this. Step one is to think about 1/6 on a number line, okay? Now, the way we're going to do that here is we can circle 1/6. Now, notice on here we have 0, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 4, all the way to 6, 6. 6/6 would be the whole part. 0.06 would be nothing. It would be 0. And 3/6, just like 3 is half of 6, that is the equivalent fraction for 1/2. And so that's how, again, if we can round that to 1/2, that's going to be an easier way to add in our brains. Or if we, of course, have 0 or 1, those are easy to add as well. So our estimating is meant to make it just a quick and easy way to get close, okay? What we're going to see here again is we'll work with equivalent fractions in our next lesson and finding common denominators, but 3/6 is the same as 1/2. 6/6, all of the sixths, is the same as one whole part, and that's kind of the way we're going to work through here, okay? So what we've got on this one is a number line that has sixth on the top and 0, half, and 1 on the bottom, and these 0, half, and 1 are our benchmarks we're going to use, and those are going to, again, help us get kind of close to where we're at and be able to estimate quickly, okay? So if we see this here, let's see, I want to get one more thing off there. The fraction 1/6, let's go ahead and mark where 1/6 is. Okay, here on our number line, it's right here. So we can see, and oh, also, you know, if I color it in just to see a visual over here, so 1/6 is equal to 1 part out of 6, so that would be like this much. Okay, so you can see that's just a little bit. If it's only 1 out of 6 whole, that's not very much of it. That's how we can look through it. If we think about this as like a pieces of pie, that's usually an easy way to think about fractions. If we think about this, it says place 1/6 on a number line. The fraction is between what two benchmarks? Well, we're between 0 here, and the other benchmark will be 1/2. Okay, so that's the two benchmarks we're going to be thinking of, and then we'll just determine which one it's going to be closer to. Okay, so we're going to say our fraction is between 0. Make that bigger. Between 0 and the other one it would be between would be 1/2. Copied right here. So we're between 0 and 1/2. Now you got to think, okay, which one is it closer to? Well, if we're between these two, notice like we're only a little bit away from 0 and we're 2 spots away. It would take 2 more pieces to get to half, and it only takes taking one away would make it 0. So we're actually going to say this is closer to 0. We are actually closer to the benchmark 0. That doesn't mean it's nothing. We know it's a little more than nothing, but as far as rounding it to something close, we can just say that's about 0. It's really not a whole lot. So we're going to say we're going to round this to 0. Okay, so we're going to call 1/6 about 0. Okay, then the other one, we're going to place the point at 3/8. So now we're going to look at 3/8. Let's go back to our little visual over here where we have our eighths model. Let's do that in blue. If I have 3 out of 8, here's like a pizza that has 8 slices, and if I do 3 of those slices, here's what 3/8 looks like if we look at it visually, okay? So you can tell this is more than 1/6, and maybe we're getting close to 1/2, but let's also use our strategy of using on the number line. So if we place a point at 3/8 on the number line, let's just go ahead and highlight it here. 3/8 is right here, okay? So once again, we can see that we're between 0 and 1/2. So again, our benchmarks here, 0 here and 1/2 here. 3/8 falls in between the two. So we're going to say this is between 0 and our 1/2 again. All right, so we're between 0 and 1/2. Now in this case, which one are we closer to? Again, we're going to round to the nearest benchmark. Again, these benchmarks, 0, half, or 1, are going to help us kind of get close to where we want to be and be able to solve these problems quickly with some mental math. The 0, half, or 1, we're between 0 and 1/2. Notice again, 3/8, 4/8 would be equal to 1/2, so 3/8 is pretty close. What we want to do is round that to 1/2, okay? So we're going to use that as our benchmark. We're going to say this is pretty close to 1/2, okay? So we're going to round that to 1/2. All right, so we're going to say 3/8 is about 1/2. 1/6 is about 0 if we're going to round, okay? Now we're going to do is add these fractions. So like we said, our 1/6 we've said is close to 0, so we're going to think of that as 0. And then 3/8 we just determined is close to 1/2. So we're going to do that. So then, hey, we took our thing that's we don't know how to solve this problem yet, 1/6 plus 3/8, but we can estimate it, and we can say, well, if it's about 0 and about 1/2, if I add 0 and 1/2, of course, that would leave me with 1/2 total, okay? So we can say that's about 1/2. All right, so Kimberly's house is about, again, estimating, not solving an exact answer, but we know our answer is close to 1/2. Okay, now again, if I look at these pieces here, these aren't equal amounts, these 6ths and 8ths, but if we think about putting this part on with this one, we'd be a little bit, maybe a little more than 1/2. But again, about 1/2 is kind of what we see. Okay, so that's one way we can do that. Let me go to my next page here and try to speed it up a little bit for us. Another way we can do it is just to use mental math, okay? We're not always going to use the number line, but the number line helps us see kind of what we're closer to. We have one here where we're going to use 9/10 minus 5/8. Now with this, again, we're adding and subtracting together, so just make sure you pay attention to which operation we're supposed to be doing, because that, of course, is going to help us find it. We have this step 1. If we have 9/10, we want to round that to a nearest 0, half, or 1. Well, let's think about it. 9, the numerator is about the same as the denominator. That means we have almost all of it. If I think of this again as 9/10, here's my tenths pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we have almost all of it. So what do you think we should round that to? Should we round that to 0, half, or 1? Well, I think what we should do is round that to the whole number 1. Boom, 1, okay? So we're going to call that about 1. It's pretty close. It's almost everything we got, almost the whole part. Then the other part, 5/8, think, okay, the numerator is about half of the denominator. Like we said, 4/8, 4 is half of 8, so 4/8 would be equal to 1/2. Let's take a look at this now. If we have 5/8 here, again, to do a visual, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little bit more than a half, but half is going to be the closest amount that we have, okay? So we're going to round this fraction to 1/2 as well, okay? So boom, there we go. We're going to round another one that's, again, close to 1/2, the closest benchmark. And again, when we're thinking in halves, it's a lot easier to add halves than it is to add eighths and things like that. But that's where we can go with that, okay? So now, again, let's take to our subtracting step. And we've got that we just stated 9/10 is close to 1, so we're going to call that 1. And then we're going to subtract 5/8, which we said we're going to round in this case to half. We have 1 minus 1/2. Now, if I have one whole minus a half, think about like $1 minus 50 cents would leave you with 50 cents. So this is equal to 1/2 as well here. So we're going to say 9/10 minus 5/8 is about 1/2. Okay, so that's again the idea here. When all the work we're going to do today, what we should only fractions we should really be working with are 1/2 or 0 or 1 whole. Okay, and that's going to help us again get close and get a little bit comfortable with using these fractions. Okay, let's take a quick look at these. Now, what you got for the rest of the lesson is on the next page, but let's go ahead and look at some of these. Sometimes we'll have ones where we have more than one whole. We have like these things called mixed numbers. I'm not sure if you saw these yesterday, or last year, but 2 7/8 minus 2/5 is what we're going to look at here. So let's go ahead and look at that as we can to start us off here. All right. So if we have 2 whole parts, I'm going to just put a big number 2 here. We have 2 whole parts, and then 7/8. Think about how much would that be? That's almost all of the eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would round this as 2 7/8. I'd go ahead and round that up to the whole number 3. And then 2/5. Let's look at that one real quick. 2 out of the 5. Notice again, half would be right down the middle. Okay, so I'd say this is about half. So I'm going to say this is, we're going to again subtract minus 1/2. We have 3 minus 1/2. And that would be how much? Well, again, this takes a little bit of thinking, but if we have 3 whole parts and we take away only a half of a part, we'd have 2 whole parts left and then 1/2. Okay, so this estimated answer would be about 2 1/2. Okay. The other ones here we are going to add. Now notice this here, if we have 1 8/9, I'm going to round that up to 2 whole parts. So I have 1 whole plus 8/9, almost all of the ninths. Again, would be like all of this except for 1. I'm going to do this quick because I'm running out of time. And then 4 8/10, well, that's 4 plus almost a whole another 1 would be like 5. Okay, so I'm going to say that's like 2 plus 5. Now, again, I'm just showing this to show the fraction piece, but if we fill these in, 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we can see that's like almost all of it. Okay, now again, here, again, we're getting to where we're just doing some simple addition as we get to an answer. So of course we would say, well, this is about like 2 plus 5, so this is about like 7. Okay, so that's kind of the idea for today. I've only got a few seconds left on my recorder time here, but to look at page 365. We start off, you're going to go through numbers 1 through 11, just what's on our page here. And you guys can go ahead and, again, pay attention to adding or subtracting. This first one, I would use that number lines thing here, okay? So we've got our whole pieces here, and I'm running out of time. I'll let you guys go, okay? So work through that. I'll see you guys.